reports about school closures. One said that in the previous 10 years there had been 157 school closures across Wales, 3 out of 5 of those closures being a rural school. And the other said that there were a further 50 schools earmarked for closure. At the same time, local authorities are trying to encourage families to move into villages, and yet some schools in those villages are in danger of being closed or already closed. What more can you do to reassure parents in Wales that their local school will not be closed in the near future?
Well, I would refer you to the answer I just gave Darren Miller. I have made it absolutely clear my intention is to revise the current school organisation code, to create a list of named rural schools and to establish a presumption against closure of those schools. Importantly as well, with regards to rural education, we cannot just rest on our laurels by keeping institutions open. Those institutions need to provide rural children with a first-class educational opportunity. Buildings alone are not enough. It is the quality that goes on in those buildings that is absolutely crucial to me, and that's why we've introduced a small schools grant to be able to support local authority to improve standards in small rural schools that have particular challenges when it comes to delivering the curriculum.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary, for that answer. My question wasn't really specifically about rural schools. I'm possibly fogged the issue a little bit by mentioning rural schools, but my question was actually about local schools, as in schools that children can walk to every day. Children who travel to school by car are exposed to an increase in pollution of 42% for that 40% for that journey, compared with those who walk. Increased school runs also leads to increased pollution generally and in the vicinity of the schools. Do you agree with me that allowing school closures to go ahead is at odds with necessitating children to stop walking to school and to be put in their parents' car or somebody else's car to be driven to school? Is at odds with the Welsh Government's claims to be serious about fighting pollution, as an increasing number of children don't live within walking distance of their nearest school?
Well, I would encourage all parents everywhere, if they do indeed live within walking distance of their schools, to ensure that their children use active travel measures to attend local schools. Welsh Government supports that by providing a Safe Routes to Schools grant. It's not my grant, it is the my Cabinet Secretary colleague that has resources for that, which it enables, for instance, I know it in my own constituency, for instance in Prestine, where we have been able to put in new pavements and new crossings to encourage parents to do just that, to actually walk their children to school. Of course, in many areas, in many rural areas, that is simply an impossibility. My own children attend to school some 25 miles away from home, and I think even I would be asking too much of them if I expected them to walk. But where it is possible, I would encourage parents and local authorities to work together to create an environment where people make that choice to actively travel to their school, whether that may be on foot or on bike. I know. Push on. I give you the rule too.
Okay, well, do you not? Do you? I mean, you've just given me a lecture about walking to school and safe routes to school. You didn't actually answer the question, because I wasn't talking about children who can walk or travel in some way under their own steam, taking exercise to school. I was talking about children who have to be put into a vehicular transport to be taken to school. And don't you think it's a contradiction that on the one hand you're forcing parents to put their children into a car to be driven to school, and at the same time hectoring people to stay out of the cars and make fewer journeys?
The member will be aware that rules regarding access to school transport are defined under the learner travel measure. All children who live 2 miles from a primary school are entitled to local authority transport. All children attending secondary school who are 3 miles away from a secondary school are entitled to local authority transport.
Plaid Cymru spokesperson Sian Gwenllian.
Thank you very much.